Okay, what's going on, guys? Kaz, Elevate Your Craft, here for my inaugural stream. So this is the first stream. I mean, I've recorded a bunch of videos before, but they've never been live releases, just kind of record them and then put them on YouTube. But we're in for a live stream now. So really happy to be here. I'm pumped. Been wanting to do this for a while. If you've watched any of my other content, it'll be kind of some of the same, but you know, we'll see what happens. I'm not quite sure, to be honest, but you may notice that I do have a word above my webcam there, and that's Etiolate. And I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to words and reading. Reading is going to be a big part of this too, and I don't mean I'm just going to sit here and read, but just talk about different books that I am currently reading. If you notice the tiles, or the one tile on my channel, it even has the books I'm reading right now. One of them being Brothers Karamazov. Another is Goodbye Things by Fumio Sasaki, and then The Origins of Totalitarianism by Hannah Arendt. And what is the other one that I just started? Well, anyway, I usually have 3 or 4 books on the go. Just anyway, going back to the word, that word is one I came across in the Brothers Karamazov. And any word that I don't know, I will stop and record it, and then I'll look up the definition and then just record it. And then I have a little list of words I call my vocabulary that I add it to, and that's one of them. Etiolate, which is sort of like to rob something of its vigor, its enthusiasm, and it's heavily context driven. So I think the common use is plants. So something that would etiolate a plant would kind of rob it of its vigor. So that's the inaugural word for the inaugural stream, and as you can see, I have Arena open here as well. So have been streaming or recording a deck that Izzet spells, and I've been following the regular standard meta as it unfolds. I am a subscriber to Star City Games premium account as well, so I do see what the pros have to say about the current meta, and I haven't been able to watch the event in Lille. I believe that's how you pronounce it, Lille. I haven't watched too much of it, just the finals, that kind of thing, but I didn't actually finish the match. But the closest deck, I guess, that I could get to one of the standard meta decks is this right here. As you can see, a little bit different. I don't have the Phoenixes. I have 1, and I believe the deck actually calls for 4. So this is sort of my own little brew that I'm trying to play with. I guess it didn't save, but I was thinking of maybe putting Enigma Drakes in instead of the Crackling Drake. Enigma Drake's a 3-mana drop. So that's kind of nice. I mean, you don't get the actual value from the exile, the instants and sorceries, but I mean, you're still getting a pretty big body for the aggressive decks. To actually have effective blockers for the aggressive decks. So we'll see. I mean, I was thinking of cutting the electrostatic fields, putting a couple of those in, and then maybe cutting the Crackling Drake altogether, or just going down to 2, cutting a scatter. And then, I don't know whether to, I mean, having the Niv Mizzet main board isn't really in the long-term plans either. I mean, I kind of want that in the sideboard. I mean, my goal here is to actually build the Izzet Spells deck with the Phoenixes, Chart a Course, you know, things like that. I don't actually, no Sarkhan. I don't actually have a list on me right now, but I did manage to get all the Sulfur Falls. So that's kind of nice. Now my land base is pretty well set. But I have to work with what I have. So we have no mythic or rare wild cards at the moment, so we're gonna have to grind a bit. But what am I at? 57 of 60. So I think, I mean, I don't know if I want Chart a Course, because I mean the great thing about Chart a Course is you just cast it pre-combat, and then you can hopefully discard a Phoenix. So I can't really go that way fully because I don't have the Phoenixes, and I'm not really that rewarded for discard at the moment. What else was there? I think Tormenting Voice was in the list that some were playing. So I could do that, but again, I'm not getting full value out of it, so I think I might just stick with the Crackling Drakes. Whoop. Crackling. And then just play this deck. It's not a great one, it's kind of subpar. I'm seeing a lot of the really standard metagame decks in Arena right now, so it's probably going to be a little bit difficult to win. But what I also want to do is cut the Izzet Guild Gates, add 2 Mountain. Oh, I'm cutting them. I was going to add 3. Oops. So I think go to 9. That's about right, I think. So 57. So we still have to add a few cards to fill up the deck, but I'm pretty sure the land base in this was 25. So we cut an Essence Scatter. I like the Disdainful Stroke in the main. I could probably do a Dive Down, because it works really well against, or not a, I mean, it works really well to protect Niv-Mizzet, and then maybe keep one more in the sideboard. So could do that. Let's see, we'll go back to the regular view here. Chart a Course, again, I don't think I'm really getting a lot of value right now until I get the Phoenixes. The mono blue tempo deck would be pretty cool to build also. I think the finals ended up being mono blue tempo versus mono red aggro. I started, I think I saw match, oh, I saw match 1 and 2, or games 1 and 2, and then they were going to 3, but I didn't watch that one. So I don't know how it ended up, but I mean, Experimental Frenzy is a ridiculous card. So I think, I mean, Golgari right now seems really, really good, and I would need some hate for it, but I don't have, oh, it's the artifact. Silent Gravestone, I think is what it's called. It doesn't allow anything in the graveyard to be the target of a spell or an ability. That might be something to put in the sideboard if Golgari becomes really, really popular, which I think it will. So I'm kind of just debating right now what to put in for the last couple cards. And you know, this is something that I've mentioned in the previous videos that I've done, but I am certainly no pro when it comes to Magic. I've done some episodes of the journey of a MTG beginner, and that's something that I have a lot of fun doing and hope it helps people in a similar situation. So whether you're just starting out or you're kind of, I'm at what, 7 to 8 months of experience now playing Magic. I only fairly recently started. So I just hope to share my insight, and I do actually think about the game a lot, and do write notes, and play a fair bit as well on tabletop. Tabletop, I've mostly played, I guess now maybe Modern, but I do follow the standard meta through Arena. But Journey of a MTG beginner is something that, like I said, I have a lot of fun with, and I hope benefits others in a similar situation, whether you're like a full-blown beginner or playing for around the same time, or even if you've been playing longer, maybe I mentioned something that is useful and benefits your game as well. And feel free to holler back at me, telling me, you know, hey, that play was awful, or you should have done that, or, you know, maybe add this to your deck or take this out. But where I was going from the start of this was, yeah, don't really look for pro Magic plays here or deck construction. Just looking to have fun with Arena and hopefully be a part of the community and grow with it and that kind of thing. So again, if you have any feedback regarding it, let me know. I have a ton to learn. This is a difficult game to learn, and especially Modern, that's been pretty stressful, I gotta say. But, you know, you just gotta be a student. Always be a student. I'm pretty humble when I play it, and kind of have the mindset where I'm not really looking to win. You know, I definitely want to win, you know, don't get me wrong, but I'm going into it thinking, listen, there's so much I have to learn, and I mean, even if you're the world champion, I would wager that you still have something to learn as well. So I go in thinking, all right, I'm just going to play the best game that I can, and I'm going to try not to make any mistakes. And if I do, acknowledge it, and go from there. So, okay, I think we need a couple more cards. All right. Disdainful Stroke, I have two more, and I'll actually have to add another card into the sideboard. Chemister's Insight for control. Ral Izzet Viceroy for control. Banefire, I mean, I wouldn't even mind a Banefire in the main, but I only have one, so Banefire is pretty good in control matchups as well. I mean, I could put the Scatter back. Sai lost a lot of favor with there being really no artifacts, good artifacts in Guilds of Ravnica. Not really seeing him anymore. Okay, maybe Red will give us some love. Yeah, so Tormenting Voice is another option in sort of the Izzet spells, but I mean, discard a card. We're getting some value through that with the Crackling Drakes, but I think it synergizes best with Arclight Phoenix, and I think if I were to put it in this deck, it wouldn't really synergize that well. I mean, I could throw one in, but that just feels bad. Radiating Lightning. I don't know if Celestia is going to be that present, because I'm only really thinking that could be used against tokens. But even then, I mean, things like Trostani pump their tokens, so the 1 damage might not really be that impactful. Don't think I'm seeing it in any of the kind of those standard lists. Experimental Frenzy. Glad I picked up 4 of those. I really want to build the mono red aggressive deck, and I might even be able to. I think I have a lot of the cards, but I do have to take a look at the lists that are out there. Demanding Dragon, it could do like an Izzet Drakes type thing. So, alright, well, I need a couple cards. Yeah, 58, so I'll just throw the Scatter back in. Okay, we'll do that, and I think I only have 3 Sinister Sabotage. Like, the list still wants another Sarkhan, and I don't have one. I think I could main a Fiery Cannonade, perhaps. Put that under the 3 drops. So the lists will need, the sideboard will need a couple cards. I mean, Graveyard Hate is what I can kind of think of for sideboard, but oops. Graveyard. I'm trying to think to see if maybe colorless. Let's see if there's any artifacts. We'll go not collected also. Yeah, Silent Gravestone. That's the one that I'm looking for. I think would be ideal. Just for that Graveyard Hate for Golgari matchups. Other than that, not really. Nothing else really helping us. So, alright, what can I throw into the sideboard? I mean, counter spells, we could do another Sinister Sabotage. I do have some uncommon wild cards. I can throw another one in the sideboard. Maybe for those control matchups where I kind of throw in a couple negates and then another Sinister Sabotage. What else is there? Mono Blue Tempo. I imagine more people will be playing that deck because of the excellent results in the recent event. I think it was a GP. So removal is pretty useful there, I believe. Plays 4 shocks, 4 lava coils, 2 direct current. I mean, I don't know if we'd want more removal. Getting rid of Tempest Djinn. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here what would be useful for that matchup. I mean, we have Fight with Fires. I could actually do Firemind's Research. I don't know if I should have. I have 3, okay. So I could put a couple into the sideboard. We're at 60. Maybe I'd put. Do I want 1 in the main board? I don't know that that's really that impactful, but maybe we do. Maybe I just get rid of a scatter and put 1 Firemind's Research. Seems like a decent card. I mean, we have what, 1, 5, 9, 10, 12, 16, 18, 19, 20, 22, 24, you know, instants or sorceries. So, I mean, that's, we just got to test it. So let's give it a shot. See how many cards that is in the sideboard. That's 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so that's 1 too many. Maybe do I just do 1 Firemind's Research? Or I could get rid of the Sinister Sabotage. I think the Firemind's Research as a 2 of is fine. Okay, so that's 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, we're good to go. Oh, a lot of the ladder has been taken off. I guess we're just doing regular play. I don't actually know if this mode has best of 3 or not. We are on the draw. Disdainful Stroke, not really going to be that impactful right now. So it would be nice to have an opt or something like that, but I think we'll keep. Depending on the matchup. Okay, so we might have an aggressive matchup here, in which case this is pretty good. So do I want to reveal that I'm Izzet? I think it's key to get this Steam Vents down tapped to preserve our life total, so we will do that. Or we could be up against a mirror. I've been seeing a lot of Izzet based decks in my matches lately, so I wouldn't be surprised. But it looks like we have mono red here. Okay, that's pretty good too. So if it is mono red, this is pretty slow for them. They'll be at 3 mana. Disdainful Stroke's not going to do anything yet. So we will play. I think I'll just do the island. Okay, and we'll go to combat. Attack. I don't know that I want to just hit the pass turn button and pass right away, kind of give the indication that, I think that would give the indication that I have absolutely nothing to do. Okay. Resolve, he'll attack. I wonder why they didn't play that before. Okay, so I'm going to pass priority. So they have 1. I think I will shock. Because they tapped it, they lose the value of just tapping it and sending 1 damage at me. Alright, another shock. I mean, that's actually not too bad. So, if we draw land next turn, we're in decent position to play Crackling Drake. At this point, I think I'd want to... They'll be at 4 mana. They could potentially throw down a Phoenix. So I've got Disdainful Stroke. I think I leave my mana up. I mean, not that I could really do much else anyway. I want to leave my counter magic up for some potentially big stuff. Maybe a... Well, if they had an Experimental Frenzy. Okay, another Fanatical Firebrand. Land. I think I do shock this, because we're in a decent position to counter anything big that comes out. Or we also have the Fiery Cannonade and a Disdainful Stroke. So I think we're okay. Okay, that's fine. So we have 2 red sources, 2 blue sources. The Crackling Drake will be a 2/4. If I throw that down, I mean, the question is, do I just want to tap out? I think I leave my mana open and then see what they play next and try and counter, because I can take 3. I'm not pressured too much at the moment. So I think I want to leave my mana up. Okay, so that was a good idea. And that's what I was kind of figuring would happen. Yeah, we take 3 here, but it's better than dealing with a Phoenix. Okay, that's great. We draw a land. So I'm at 5 mana. I'm still at 16. If I throw down the Crackling Drake, I do have a wall, but then again, I think I want to leave Counter Magic up, and then, or potentially cast a Chemist's Insight next turn. Because my life total is not being pressured too badly right now. So if they play another Phoenix or something like that, I want to be able to. Okay. Take 3. So they are considering for a long time here. So I'm thinking they have something, but they're considering whether they want to play it into open mana. Okay, so in that case, I will cast a Chemist's Insight on their end step. Okay, so we get land and we get Niv Mizzet as well. Niv Mizzet's a good wall, but it also, I mean, we'll be tapped out. But if they cast any instant sorceries, I think if we untap with Niv Mizzet, we're in really good shape. So what can they sneak through? They could sneak through a Phoenix. But I think we're in an okay position to be able to handle it. Okay, so if they're just gonna... Alright. So we're gonna get some value. That'll be 2, so I won't be able to do 3 damage to the Chain Whirler. I guess we'll do 2 damage. Okay, so I mean Niv Mizzet, just doing Niv Mizzet things. 2 for 1-ing. I still think we're okay. I mean, I hope they don't have Experimental Frenzy here, because I don't have Counter Magic up, and I would really like to counter that card. Okay, so it looks like it's just a land. So I think we're in pretty decent shape here. We'll have Crackling Drakes as a nice wall. We have Counter Magic up. I do have a land to play next turn, so... let's see, I have 5 blue sources and only 3 red. Okay, so we'll play an island. That leaves 1 red source up, but we will have mana up for Counter Magic, so that's really good. Okay, that's pretty good too. So we'll leave this up. This mana up for a Sinister Sabotage or maybe an end step. Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, I'm not too worried about that. Yep. Okay, so if he attacks with the Chain Whirler, I think I'll block. Okay, so they're not. Okay, so I can Fiery Cannonade now, although I don't think I will. That I want to scry to the bottom. Okay, and we hit another mountain. Direct Current, that's pretty good. So we'll play a mountain. We have a 5/4 in the air, which is pretty nice. If I play another Crackling Drake, I'm at 8 mana. That'll leave up 4. Okay, so let's do, I want to do this because I do have to start pressuring my opponent. And that dive down is actually really nice. So I think I'll direct current, take out the Pyromancer. And then I will have dive down mana open. So I'll enter combat. Okay, we have a blocker back. If they just draw air, that's good. Okay, and they've conceded. Awesome. Okay, good stuff. So I think the key turn there was leaving the counter magic open when they had 4 mana for Rekindling Phoenix. I was able to counter that, and then I wasn't feeling too pressured on my life total. So I think that really turned things around for us. Okay. I have a constructed event here that I could resume, but I'm not sure. It's a set deck, so it's going back to an old iteration of this deck. Okay.
Why is Spotify Premium better? Because you can play the music you want, where you want, when you want it. Offline, on demand, without ad interruptions, unlimited skips. Try it free for 30 days. We think you'll like it. And if you don't, we already told you it's free. Tap the banner to learn more.
Okay. So just heading on to the Elevate Your Craft page on Facebook, where I house all the content I've created based around progressive calisthenics and jump rope. Just checking that out for a second. Gonna let people know that I am streaming. All right, we're good. Okay, so we got a W. We got a W. Yeah, speaking of Elevate Your Craft and Calisthenics. The latest video I did, actually, I think it's episode 24 now, was kind of talking about just giving everyone an update on the goings on in the calisthenics and strength training world. It's been a pretty big change for me as of late. On the draw, but pretty bad hand. We want some early counter magic, maybe some draw spells, so I think I'm gonna send this back. You know, with the weather changing and really not being able to exercise outside that effectively, things have changed. But that's okay. You know, I haven't, before maybe a month and a half ago, I think I'll keep this. I don't think I want that. I hadn't really touched a weight in years. So it was pretty weird going back to a traditional gym and kind of hitting the weights. But, I mean, it's certainly not bad. There's nothing wrong with them. But it was a big change for me. But what's awesome is I'm getting back into deadlifts and just kind of the big exercises like military press, squats, deadlifts, all that kind of stuff. And especially deadlifts, I had a pretty good one years ago. Thought erasure, okay. I don't think but they'll probably take Niv Mizzet, or maybe even the Chemist's Insight. Because Niv Mizzet's not coming out anytime soon, so they're probably gonna go, okay. And that kind of change is fairly daunting. Because I'm like, you know, am I gonna betray my identity as a calisthenics proponent? And like, nah, you know, I'm for everything. I'm for kind of just doing what makes you feel good and really being active in any way you like. And as far as I'm concerned now with what I'm doing, it's a new adventure, right? And so that's what that vlog talked about. And you can check it out on the Facebook page that I just mentioned, or even on YouTube as well. I have all my videos, including the previous arena videos that I've recorded. Okay, so we're drawing land central. I want to put the blue source down, I think. Just because I want to project that I have Sinister Sabotage. They'll be at 4 mana next turn, so this is maybe Grixis, so they might be playing Nicol Bolas, but they don't have red mana. So I just passed the turn. Okay, no red source. They could just be playing like Dimir Control or something like that. Okay, my turn. Play the Sulfur Falls, and then maybe go for a Chemist's Insight on their end step. But yeah, all the vlogs are on YouTube, on the Facebook. Do I Chemist's Insight in response? I mean, use it or lose it, right? Because they're probably going to take that. So I think I respond. I mean, I'm drawing cards. Okay. I mean, if they're gonna use a Syncopate on that, that's kind of whatever. But I was thinking, like, yeah, I'm drawing more cards, so I'm kind of like, I'm giving them more cards and potentially better ones to take. But then I think they would have just taken the Chemist's Insight anyway. So. Alright, so not doing too much here. And we draw another shock, so. Play another land. I'm at 6 mana, but if I opt, I'm at 5. I was thinking a potential Niv Mizzet. I think I'll maybe wait to respond to something they do, but they haven't hit a land, so they're probably playing Dream Eater or Doom Whisperer, so I'm hoping that I can creature. Okay. fair enough. Don't want that. I want some counter magic. So I want to be able to counter the Doom Whisperer. But they're at 5 mana. If they had one, Doom Whisperer, I'm pretty sure is 5 mana. So they probably would have casted it. This could be a potential way to take out a Doom Whisperer, or maybe expansion a Thought Erasure, so I think I'll keep that. Because if they cast any useful instants or sorceries that I could maybe take advantage of, then it'll help me. I don't think Shock's gonna do... Well, I mean, no, that I want to discard. Even my Lava Coils, I mean, anything they play is going to be above 4 toughness, I would imagine. Maybe not a Dream Eater or something like that, but... I mean, are there even any creatures? Oh, Niv Mizzet. Okay, so they're gonna want to take my Niv Mizzet. And how do I deal with that? I'm at 5, 6, 7. So I can Expansion Explosion, potentially. The Niv Mizzet, but that's a lot of mana. I'd have to do... I mean, I'd have to be at 9. So 3, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so if I draw a land next turn, otherwise... I could Expansion for 1 damage and then Lava Coil. I mean, they're going to get some decent value out of that. Yeah, that's fine. Not really sure what kind of... if there's any counter magic on their side. Okay, that's pretty decent. So no land, so I can't just purely Explosion the Niv Mizzet. 8. Yeah, so I'll have to do the Lava Coil plus an Explosion for 1, and then just draw 1 card. If they have a counter spell, that would feel real bad. So I think I want to Lava Coil first. Yep, resolve. And then I'm thinking, no, I couldn't even cast the Sinister Sabotage anyway. So X will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess 2. And then if they counter this, that'll hurt. I don't think Dimir would play counters, but maybe in the main board anyway. Okay, so that hurts. Okay, I think we can let that one go. So, I mean, it was tough playing that into all that open mana. I mean, it's a blue-black deck. It will have counter spells, but I think that's really all I could have done without letting things just get way out of hand with Niv Mizzet. Because if you untap with it, it's really hard. So sideboarding that game, I would have put in Fight with Fires. Let's take a look at that. So I would have taken out the Lava Coils, for sure. Would have put the Fire Mine Research in. Like, they didn't hit a red source. I don't know. I think it was probably just Dimir control. So they would have had Doom Whisperers. I would have put the Disdainful Strokes in. Negates. Taking out the Direct Currents, the Fiery Cannonade. Yeah, so that's probably how I would have sideboarded. Maybe Ral. Okay, well, let's go for another one. Mono red aggro. We only have red mana. I'm on the play. I don't like this that much. You know, we have the early removal, but I mean, if we don't draw blue source, the Sinister Sabotage hurts. I think I'm going to toss this back. Okay, I mean, at least we have an opt. Hopefully we can draw into a red source. Okay, I'll keep that. That I think we have to put to the bottom. Play that and then look to opt on their end step. Hello! That's always nice to see. A little friendly hello. Oh boy. Okay, so we are really looking to get a red source here to be able to shock that Llanowar Elves. Okay, that's not going to get us there. That will. Okay, that's great. Because we really want to get rid of this Llanowar Elves. Bolt the bird, as they say. And they have another one. Okay. That's not great. So green, black. They will have potentially, what, 4 mana next turn, so maybe I keep up the Disdainful Stroke and hope to counter a 4 mana spell. So this looks like Golgari. Okay, and another Llanowar Elf. Wow. So that just puts into, okay. I mean, all of this kind of feels really bad. No lands. I really want a Disdainful Stroke something. Something big, because they'll have 6 mana now. Jadelight Ranger, okay. I think we shock. Don't want that thing getting counters. Another, okay. Oh no, not another. That was Merfolk Branchwalker. And they have another one. So their opening hand was full of creatures. Okay. So we're under a decent amount of pressure right now. If I play the Steam Vents tapped, like they just have lands. Like, I could Lava Coil the Jade Light Ranger, but I don't know. Doesn't feel quite right. I have Disdainful Stroke mana up, but I could just be waiting all day and taking unnecessary damage too, so doesn't feel great. But they didn't attack with either of the Llanowar Elves, so maybe they have something pretty big that they're looking to cast. That Fiery Cannonade would be real nice right now. Okay, so they just have a lot of creatures. Now, so I'm going to be taking a fair amount of damage. Essence Scatter, 2, 4, 5, 6. Not drawing land is really hurting me. Of course, seems kind of obvious, but it would have been nice to play a land and then Lava Coil and have Essence Scatter or Disdainful Stroke mana up. So if they tap with everything, we're taking 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. Okay. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to sideboard here, or else I'd bring in the. Okay, that one's got to go. Do I Essence Scatter? No, I think here I Disdainful Stroke. Because at this point, I want to Essence Scatter any creature because I am hurting. So I think I have to main phase opt. I have to deal with what's on the board. So there's a land. We're at 9, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, I think 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I take 7 versus, say, 5, it's still not that much of a difference. I think I want to be in a position to scatter something. And then I mean, either way, I don't really think there's much that I can do here. So I think we have to concede this one, boys and gals. So unfortunate there. Draw wasn't cooperating with us, and we needed some land there, but that's okay. So Pauper, I think, is commons only, if I'm not mistaken. What was I saying? Yeah, about the latest vlog. But I've done so many, I mean, it's so many. It's 24 of them, which isn't too bad. I'm on the draw, both mana, early scatters, cannonade, I'll keep it. Everything from, you know, squats to jump rope. And even the Elevate Your Craft podcast too. I've interviewed, you know, a bunch of people. I haven't actually done an interview like that in a little while. I wanted to focus more on kind of this type of thing and developing magic and my video presence and that kind of thing. Okay, so it looks like we're up against the Izzet Spells deck, probably with Arclight Phoenix. So we can direct current the Electromancer, which I think's kind of decent. They're tapped out. I mean, this deck plays Shocks and Chart a Course and Radical Idea. We'll be tapped out. They'll be at 4 mana. You know, their graveyard. Yeah, okay, there's another one. I'm sure they have Firemind's Research. So land is no issue this turn. So we can play the Direct Current again, jumpstart it, discard a mountain. I mean, it could be useful to deal with any Phoenix, but I kind of want to keep the Cannonade, because if he all of a sudden just brings 2 or 3 Phoenixes in from the bin, then I can use the Cannonade. So I think I'll do that. Because it's important to get rid of these Electromancers. Because I want to prevent this deck from casting a lot of spells in their turn, so... Unfortunately, we don't have... Okay, I was going to say we don't have Essence Scatter mana up. I'm at 5 mana. I'm not really under a lot of pressure here. So I think maybe I just pass the turn. And then hope I can Essence Scatter if they hard cast a Phoenix or... I mean, I know, I believe, I shouldn't say I know, I believe that deck plays Crackling Drake as well, or Enigma Drake, so if I can Essence Scatter one of those, that's pretty good. Okay, so countering this will put it in the graveyard, so maybe they're kind of expecting that. Okay, my turn. This will put me at 6 mana. I think I want to pay the 2 life. And then I am at 6 mana, yeah. So I'll have Essence Scatter or Opt mana up. And it's only a 2/4, so it's nothing crazy. But let's see. I mean, maybe they have an Essence Scatter of their own. Drawing a card's nice. Okay. So we'll see what my opponent does. They made Lava Coil. I think I want to Essence Scatter this. I'm kind of thinking maybe I don't. But that's their 3rd Electromancer, so if they're not able to get one on the board, that's really good. But then again, it's nice to have one for a Crackling Drake. Okay, so they're just looking to cast spells, I guess. So I think they misclicked there. Oh, okay, never mind, never mind. I think they just want to... Okay, I don't know what happened there. I think it was a misclick. So we'll go to combat. I probably should have opted there to maybe make Crackling Drake a 4/4, but I mean, I guess I still could. But 3 or 4, I mean, at this point, it's not making a huge difference. So I'm at 6 mana. I think I play this tapped. and I end my turn, and then maybe I can respond with something, or sorry, respond with the opt on their turn, and then cast a Sinister Sabotage. I can deal with the Enigma Drake. But Niv Mizzet would be real nice right now. But I want to keep the Explosion, I think. So they're maybe looking to jumpstart the Beacon Bolts. You know, I could copy it and take out the Enigma Drake. I could copy with Expansion, but I want to keep it for the Explosion part, I think. Okay, they have... one mana up. Okay, so we are at 5 mana. I think I just passed the turn. And then hope we draw a Niv Mizzet or a Crackling Drake. I mean, I don't know that they have a lot in their hand. Okay, they have that. How many do they have in their graveyard? One. Just the one, right? Okay. Yep. So 3, 5, 7, 8. Interest tapped. I'll play the Direct Current. I mean, they have one card in hand, so them actually casting 3 spells in a turn is very difficult. So I think it's in my best interest to take out this Phoenix. And then I have Fiery Cannonade if they somehow do cast those spells, and then can bring, say, 2 Phoenixes in. I can respond with Fiery Cannonade. So I'm kind of hoping that they just draw air, and then I can draw Niv Mizzet. So what? 3, 6, 9 mana. So for X is 5. I mean, maybe I just do an Explosion at the end of their turn. Target them, and then draw 5 cards. Okay. The scary thing is if it's countered, that's the... But I don't know if this deck plays counter spells. I mean, let's give it a shot. So 2 red, 2 blue. I'm at what? 3, 6, 9 mana. 4, X is 5. And then draws. I want to draw the cards. I don't want to give my opponent. Wow, okay. That was a pretty crazy draw, too. So, okay. That's pretty good. $100 gold. Breaking the bank. Almost at a pack. You know what? Let's try. I built this Boros aggro. I can actually see if I can build that mono red. Oh, I don't have the Steamkins, I think. Yeah, I remember seeing them when we were panning through. I only have one. But let's see. I mean, we can give it a shot here. Firebrands are in the deck. These definitely are not. I don't think the Legion war bosses are. This Boros aggro deck ended up being sort of nothing. It had a lot of hype at the beginning, or when Guilds of Ravnica was coming out. And even Aurelia looked like a really good card, but you know, on its own merits, it seems to be a decent card, but maybe it's just not the right time for it at the moment. So we're gonna get rid of all of these. These experimental frenzies can come into the deck. Lyra, you can go. So, Lava Runners, Viashinos, I have those. Oh, yeah, okay, so only one. We have some common wild cards, so we can get that. Alright. Oh, 4 Experimental Frenzy. Do I only have 3? Oh, I have 4. Alright. Chain Whirler. 4 of those. Fanaticals, we got them. Oh, the Phoenixes, yeah. So, I don't think I have Rekindling Phoenix. That will tell me that I do not. Okay, so a couple of those. 4 Shocks. 4 Lightning Strike. A Wizard's Lightning. And then looks, yeah, 22 Mountains. Okay, sideboard, a couple Banefires. I only have 1 of those. Lava Coil. Oh, treasure maps. Okay. I don't think I have any of those. Nope. Fiery Cannonade. Fiery Can. 2, 3, and then Fight with Fire. Can get a couple more of these. Okay, so we do have some work to get this deck up and going. So 5 cards, so 2 Phoenixes, and then 3 Steamkins. So I did put the 1 in there. Yeah, otherwise we have everything else, so that's not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, well, we'll save that. Okay, let's get another game in. So it's been Dimir control. Well, first Golgari. No. First mono red aggro, then Dimir control. No. Jeez. Yeah. And then Golgari. And then that was sort of like, Izzet spells. This isn't too bad, I think. I'm on the play. I mean, maybe we can get the legendary turn for Izzet, so I'll keep. So we play this, Steam Vents tapped. I mean, I don't like showing them that I'm red-blue, but... Llanowar Elves, okay. Sulfur Falls, do we play the Lava Coil? The scary thing is, if I get rid of the Llanowar Elves with the Lava Coil, I don't have a Lava Coil for their bigger creatures. If they play a land next turn and then tap the Llanowar Elves and then send in Steel Leaf Champion, that's gonna hurt. But every time I do this, they have another one, so I'm gonna leave it up. Okay, so we do get the turn 3 Sarkhan. I can play him and then discard a mountain.
I'll show you unhinged.
Do I want to discard the mountain? I'll discard the island. Okay. So we could have the legendary turn 4. Okay, and they played a Chupacabra too, so that's not bad because... And they've conceded. Okay. I was gonna say, that Chupacabra coming out that turn is good because then they can't Chupacabra my Izzet, but not sure what happened there. Definitely don't like winning that way. Okay, another 100 gold. Awesome. Alright, so... Previous one was Izzet Spells, and then this one was Golgari. Okay, once again, if you are wondering why this word is above my webcam there, Etiolate, it's kind of the latest word that I've come across in my many readings that I had no clue what it meant. So it's like every time I read, I either have my phone by me or a notepad or something, and then if I see a word that I don't know the definition of, I'll record it, and then I'll look it up, just so I obviously know what's going on in the book, but just so I learn a new word. And then I also record that word into a list that I have of all these different words that I've come across and now know, although it is hard to remember all of them, so if I'm honest, I don't remember every single one. But Etiolate is the latest one, and that's just to sort of rob something of its vigor, its enthusiasm. I believe it's used mostly in the context of plants, but you know, it's context heavy, or dependent, I should say, but you can really use it to describe that in a lot of different contexts. But anyway, that's what that's doing there. We'll get another game in. Getting closer to finishing up the Brothers Karamazov, which is an epic by Dostoevsky. So I think at least 10 words have been added to the list because of that book. So yeah, on my streams I'm going to have a different word above my webcam, just kind of showing what I've come across as of late. And then hopefully if you have any interest in vocabulary, you learn from it too. So I'm on the play. I don't really like this that much. I mean, we could play Sarkhan. I don't know. I don't really like this that much. Okay. Some cheap removal. But we have both our lands. Still, doesn't feel that great. Nothing beats water. Okay, I will keep. And op's not too bad. Okay, so we're not going to be able to opt. So I will leave the mountain up, and then maybe we can shock something. Whoops. Get the game audio down a little bit. Okay, if we're gonna shock something, we shock the Llanowar Elves. Okay, leave the mana up. If they play another Llanowar Elves, we can shock that. I mean, against green, I imagine it's green-black. I don't know that there are really any mono-green stompy decks, but... Okay, we'll respond. I'll respond to the ability with a shock. Resolve. Vraska's Contempt. Okay, so we'll see if they keep that or bin it. So we gotta keep an eye out now. End combat, we will opt on end step. I think we're looking for a little more action. Okay. Wow, this is action incarnate, my friends. Alright, so we'll put up the lands to kind of hopefully show that we have a counter spell of some sort. And another expansion explosion. Alright, so I'm loving these draws. Enter that tapped, so they have to write down the Vraska here. We have another Golgari. And maybe they don't have 4 mana. Or 4 lands. Alright, so they're really debating something. Okay, fair enough. A creature. He'll probably bin that one. Or leave it. You know what? Shoot. I probably should have kept that land and then discarded it to the... No, actually I needed it to play Sarkhan. Yeah, so never mind.
No sword can pierce my skin. Yes.
It feels bad discarding that, but we really need some action here. And Niv Mizzet can be good. I mean, if we resolve that, if we hit a land, we'll be able to do it that way. Or we just do what Sarkhan does best and get some mana out there. And they do have Vraska's Contempt, so it's not going to be around for very long.
You think you're a warrior?
But I think we get it out. I mean, regardless, we're going to be able to do 1 damage with Niv Mizzet.
Come to me.
So 1 red. I guess I'll just do 2 red. They do have Nebraska as an answer, but we'll be able to take out the Llanowar Elves. Oh, yeah, no, I was going to say they don't have 2 black sources, but they do. Yeah, we knew that was coming. Goodbye, Niv Mizzet. And I imagine Sarkhan is going bye-bye.
You call that a hit?
This will give us 6 lands. I mean, we can Lava Coil. I'm really wondering if I should just be preserving my life total. Okay, and I mean, they're stuck at 4 lands, so... You know, and maybe if they have an interesting sorcery or instant that we can copy. Okay, so there's a land. Seeker coming in for some big deeps. The Midnight Reaper was also a 3. Okay, that was binned. I mean, do I Lava Coil the Jade Light Ranger? Do I main phase Chemister's Insight? That I don't like. But I'm taking 4 damage next turn. I think we just leave everything up. I might need an answer for something else that comes down. Like that. Okay, so I'm at 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, so I can't do that. So let's do Chemister's Insight and hope we hit an Essence Scatter. Unfortunately, we don't. We hit Sinister Sabotage. That would have been sweet. That would have been really sweet. So we're not in great shape here. They have 10 power on the board now. Okay, so we have Niv Mizzet again. But I mean, it doesn't really get in front of the Doom Whisperer that well. So we're at 6 mana. Well, maybe it's what we need to come back. If they have another Vraskas, then I think we're just dead. So maybe I do the... So it's a 2-turn clock right now. I can Chemister's Insight on their end step. I'm taking 7. And then I ditch the steam vents. Like, I'm hoping to counter something big now. Okay. They're at 22, so this is gonna be tough. Wow. Give me some love, deck. I don't even know how I deal with this, honestly. I deal with it by getting more lands. So that gives me 7. I can play Izzet. And then if I block the Doom Whisperer and then opt, I can take it out. But I'm leaving myself open to Vraska's Contempt. But at the very least, I think I can take out the Seeker's Squire with the triggered abilities, and then if I take 6, I'm down to 1. Or that happens. Okay, so I want to cast this just to get some value. No, thank you. So we're gonna get some value out of the Niv Mizzet. That's where the dive down would have been really nice. So we're not in good shape. We are not in good shape. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Crackling Drake is nice. So if I play this, thinking this might be our only shot. Or if I draw a shock here. No, we draw more land. So I don't think I can do anything here. But maybe if they have some sort of removal, I can expansion. Well, no, then, I mean, if there's removal, and it's dead anyway, so. I mean, I'm dead anyway, but... let's just do it for posterity. Oh, that would have been... well, I can't draw anyway, so... unfortunately, I still lose. All I have to do is attack. There you go. GG to my opponent. Oh yeah, that thing has trample too. So it wouldn't have mattered. Okay, so another Golgari, and that's not surprising. I mean, this, based on what I have here, like Sarkhan has never really felt that great, in all honesty. So, is there anything else that would potentially work better? Well, Beacon Bolt isn't bad. Maybe I could try those in place of the direct current. I have 3. Let's give it a shot. It's another 3 mana spell, so... but let me just... yeah, last podcast episode I did was number 37, Achieving the Double Under, which was an awesome podcast, probably the best one I've done. The amount of thought and time, that I've put into thinking about jump rope is pretty awesome. But that can also be found on YouTube. On the Facebook page as well. That's the largest audience that I have, is the Facebook page. We're at 4,120 likes, which is pretty decent. So getting up there. But what was I gonna say? That's where YouTube is where I primarily put all this kind of stuff, like MTG or any gaming or all that kind of thing. But okay, so what are we doing here? So we've come up against three Golgari decks. Dimir Control, Mono Red, and Izzet spells. And these are all one-rounders. I mean, there's no sideboard, which isn't great. I do like sideboard strategies and playing best of threes, but we're working with what we got here. I don't have a top-tier deck at the moment, so I'm trying to grind out some wins, but not looking great thus far. I definitely want to draft Dominaria again, too. What an awesome set that was. How dark we're getting in here. Benefit from turning on a light. There's sort of an orangish hue. That's the that's my desk lamp. Same with a little flicker. It's got some character, this lamp. This isn't bad. This is pretty good.
There are 30 million songs on Spotify.
That is pretty good.
Some are real big hits. Some are really not. All songs were not created equal. Play the songs you love, skip the ones you don't.
Okay, so we play an island so we can opt.
Personally, subscribe premium and start skipping. Tap the banner now to find out more.
And pass. Do we have an aggressive strategy? Niv Mizzet, you gotta go to the bottom. Okay, that's pretty good. Sulfur Falls, go. Oh, we have another Izzet matchup. Okay, so it looks like it's the Izzet spells with Arclight Phoenix. So I think we play this and pay 2, and then play Sarkhan. And then plus we're gonna discard an island.
Bolus told me I should do this.
And get another island. Nice. Well, it'll give us another card to discard, I suppose.
Love a little bloodshed.
Interesting. It would be really nice to
Don't doubt my methods.
draw a fiery. Okay. I don't like this. I mean, Sarkhan's probably going to die next turn. I have another one. I can play Crackling Drake. But I think I'm going to pass. Good night, sweet prince.
A bold strike.
So that fiery cannonade would be excellent. I could have jump started, which might have been better. I think I want to main phase opt and really see if I can get that. I mean, shock's not bad, I guess. This isn't great. But this is pressure, right? So, I mean, pressure on their board. It's a 3-turn clock. Let's leave the Sinister Sabotage mana up. We'll counter that. Dive down. I mean, it could be useful for this Crackling Drake, because there's probably a fair bit of burn. So I'm at 5 mana. If I play the Steam Vents tapped, I mean, I think I do want to play the Crackling Drake. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that mana open to try and protect this Crackling Drake, because I think it's gonna get some burn to the eye. Okay, we'll block one blocker and then see what this person has to say. Okay, there's that Fiery Cannonade. This is pretty good. So we're at 7 mana, 3 red sources. We can play Sarkhan. What do I do here? Odds are they're not going to have another. I think I plus and then discard the Lava Coil. I'll make the Crackling Drake an 8, and then a mountain is exactly what I wanted. Not true. Okay, so we're dealing a good amount of pressure here. We can end step Chemister's Insight, discard the mountain. Three cards in hand. Okay, so they've played and then shocked themselves. So they do have some juicy stuff in hand. I just wonder what it is. I mean, either way, it's a 2-turn clock, so... Kate will resolve, and then I want to respond with a Fiery Cannonade. That's gonna die anyway. Okay. Wow, they've conceded, really. Interesting. I mean, I guess I have a Planeswalker in play. They have no cards in hand. I don't know if they were playing Arclight Phoenix or not. I didn't see any, but... All right, we're looking good. We are looking good. Okay, so that was an Izzet mirror. All right, let's try and get that 5th win for the pack. I'm on the draw. Disdainful Stroke I like because I'm on the draw. Dive Down, I mean, it's probably not going to be too useful until later. I have a Shock. I'll keep it. Noob School Bus is taking some time to consider their play. Demir, okay. So we've got a tap land, a little slower for my opponent, and I'm okay with that. Another tap land, okay. So judging by the amount of tap lands, this probably isn't the most efficient deck. Maybe my opponent is a new player, and all the power to them. I'm happy that they're playing. It is a bit of a grind to get the cards you need. And yeah, so there it looks like disinformation campaign. Okay. So I will discard Lava Coil, I think. Get a sorcery in my graveyard, and it is my turn. I mean, if I play the mountain, it wouldn't show 2 blue sources anyway, so I can't really project that I have a Sinister Sabotage. I can play the Steam Vents, take 2, and then they know I don't have the Sinister Sabotage. But they're going to be at 4 mana, so they may have good old Nicol Bolas. So I'm going to keep Disdainful Stroke mana up. and see if we can counter that big dude. No land yet, so... I could copy it, actually. I think I might. Wow, okay. I probably want... I think I'll keep the Sulfur Falls on top. Because I want that third blue source. Well, hold on, no. No, maybe I should have just binned them both. Because why? Well, I mean, the third blue source is important for Niv Mizzet. But I think the blue source is pretty good. You know, maybe for a Disdainful Stroke, dive down combo sometime down the line. We'll see. So they're going to bounce Disinformation Campaign back to their hand. I may have to discard. Again, in that case, then I'll probably just discard the Mountain. So this is a Grixis matchup. Let's call it Grixis Surveil. Okay, so we draw an Opt. We are at 4 mana. I think I pass and then look to maybe Opt on end step. And or Shock. How many instant sorceries? We have 2 sorcery. Well, 1 instant / sorcery. So my opponent's still considering what they're gonna do, and maybe this is a newer player. If so, once again, I reiterate, good on you, man. Keep playing, you'll get better. Or they're just not at their, computer. They're AFK. Okay, so priority shifts to me. I will Opt on their end step. Don't need you. All right, well, no shortage of mountains. So we'll see. I mean, maybe my opponent has gone AFK. Easy way to get that 5th win, but just never feels great. Never feels great, man. Yeah, so it's looking like that's the case. It happens. Maybe they disconnected or had something pressing that they needed to address. Because you don't even see their cards being highlit or highlighted, however want to put that one. Kind of see that white outline when the cursor goes above the cards, but not even seeing that, so that tells me that they've either disconnected or just away from keyboard. And I mean, okay, they've either conceded or just been booted from the game. Victory doesn't really feel that way. But what can you do? Ooh, the card. Is it an Arclight Phoenix? Not even close. All right. We do get a pack. Decent. Let's open it. Ooh. That's good. Land is always good. And we are one pack away from a rare wild card. Arclight Phoenix is a mythic, so that's going to take some doing, but we can get maybe a Runaway Steamkin. Go back home. Before, so I mentioned the 24th vlog that I did is 24. The 23rd one was actually pretty cool. So this past summer, I made it, well, it was kind of spring, summer, but I made it my goal to be able to do one muscle up per minute for 100 minutes consecutively. So no breaks, other than that minute that I have. So say I did a muscle up in the first 5 seconds. Then I have the rest of that minute, the 55 seconds, to compose myself, to rest up. But every minute I do a muscle up, and it doesn't stop. And I did a couple videos just kind of detailing what I did during that whole process. But the 23rd vlog, which is before the one that I spoke about previously, spoke about the structure in which I approached my muscle up training to achieve that. So if you're interested in the muscle up, check that out. I also did a video on a muscle up progression. So that's one I'm going to talk about in a future stream. I'm actually going to play it and all that kind of stuff and talk about it. But check that out. It's essentially a progression video kind of with the steps that I took to achieve the muscle up. And it was huge for me to be able to do a muscle up. I remember the first time I did it, it was incredible. And then it would just went from there. I went crazy. I was just like, all right, I want to keep going. I don't want to lose what skill I've developed. This is amazing. And I probably did more than I should have, meaning that I didn't rest quite enough on occasion. I was pretty good. I've come to be pretty good with that in my older age, even though I'm not really that old. But I used to just like crush myself with working out, and I realize now that it did some harm in terms of injuries and discovering the motivations behind why I did that. And I'm sure why a lot of people do. I mean, I'm definitely not the only one. There are very few things I think that, you know, we feel day to day that others don't feel to some degree, you know, on whatever that spectrum may be. Okay, there's that Fire Mines research. We have... So we're probably not going to want to opt on their main phase. Well, I'm on the draw. So I want to take advantage of that Fire Mines research trigger. But I want to keep this. I want to see how this works. Green. Okay, and no Llanowar Elves, so that's pretty good. So we'll play that. Combat, and then I don't want to opt on their ends. I mean, I do, but I don't, because I want to get that Fire Mines research down. So we'll do this, play that. We'll take 2, a token will come up. I mean, I could Lava Coil this Amara. It is a pretty good card. I think I do. It's just there's too much value in leaving that. Too much value for my opponent in leaving that card up. Okay, well there's another one. And we get another Lava Coil. So we can... We can Fire Mines research, then opt. Do I opt now? I mean, sure. Okay, that's pretty good. Deal with this pesky Amara more efficiently. Okay. So, do I want... I can play that. I think I shock the Amara. That's 2. I mean, they'll be at 4 mana. What can they play at 4 mana? I don't know the... Maybe a... what's it called? Night of Autumn? So, Night of Autumn, which can take out my Fire Mines research. So maybe I leave Sinister Sabotage mana up. Sapperling Migration. Unkicked? I mean, I don't know if I should have countered that. Maybe. I really want to try and find that Fiery Cannonade. Okay, so that's unfortunate. So we can play the Crackling Drake. Which is pretty good, I guess, because we'll be taking a lot of damage next turn. Or I can Lava Coil and then... I mean, they haven't drawn another land. I think I have to Lava Quill one of these nights. And then I take 5 because, I mean, I can't really block with the Crackling Drake. At least block the Knight, because then they'll trade. This feels bad. So I play the Crackling Drake, I draw a card. It's a decent blocker against the Knight. But no land drop hurts. Okay, that hurts as well. So I'm taking 8. Well, I have to play it shocked, or untapped to get shocked, so I think I just lose. Alright, good game. GG's. Ooh, at 100 damage, I get another deck. Alright, let's play for a win here. Let's play for a win. I mean, I guess I'm always playing for a win, but... well, no, not always. I mean, as I said closer to the start of the stream, I mean, especially in tabletop Magic, I'm approaching it in a way that I'm pretty humble. I mean, I want to learn. I ask for feedback from my opponents after the game. If I win, great. I think of why did I win? What were the cards that got me that win? If I lost, okay, why do I think I lost? What were the cards that I could have used to help me win? What did I not have that helped facilitate this loss? Things like that. Let's just reveal a mountain here. Have a shock, maybe if they have an early creature, like a Viashino or a Lava Runner, although they would have played that on 1. So they may just shock me to the face. Okay. Okay. They still get the trigger. Okay, we have another shock, and then the Fiery Cannonade I think will be nice too. And then we have 2 blue sources for the Sinister Sabotage. Okay. That's a little tougher to deal with the Fiery Cannonade and a shock. Okay, I'm taking damage, folks. So we hope that we can Sinister Sabotage a Phoenix. Okay, so no 4-drop. So maybe they'll play... okay, well this isn't good. Do we want a 4th land? I mean, I guess. It would feel really bad to Fiery Cannonade and Shock. Ugh, I think I take it. Okay, that I want to counter. That I want in the bin. No more lands. Well, no, that's not true. So we're at 6. 5 mana. That'll be 4. I lose. If I take that 3, I lose to a Lightning Strike. So I think I just have to cannonade it. Feels bad, but otherwise we just lose. Yeah, okay, so that's what I was hoping wouldn't happen. But if there's a card that can deal with it, this is it. Trying to think. I can do 1. Chemister's Insight, do 2 more. And then maybe try and take out this Phoenix. I mean, it's worth a shot. Lava Coil. Enters tapped. If they have a haste creature, that could be an issue. I just hope they don't draw a experimental frenzy. I just gotta kind of hope they draw air. Okay. So really now I've just got to stabilize. I need counter magic for burn. Sarkhan. Okay. I'm a little focused here. Do I want to even cast Sarkhan? I don't think so. Good game. Okay, so we we stabilized. Niv Mizzet there is just a ridiculous card sometimes. If it stays alive, it's just craziness, as you saw. Just a flurry of 1 damage, draw cards. Wow. Oh, Chaos, so there we go. There's a Phoenix on the box, so it's gotta have a Phoenix in it. That's good, that helps us. Alright, let's see what we got out of these. Alright, yeah, so there's 1 Rekindling Phoenix, that's sweet. Shocks, we have plenty of those. Gravewalker. I don't think I've ever seen this card. Huh. Okay, we got a Dragon Skull Summit, although I think I have 4 of those. Okay, that Phoenix really helps. Auras of Majesty, that's a new one. So 1 History of Benalia. I have 4 of them already, so that doesn't really help us that much, but, you know, hey. Shalai, that's cool. Alright. Wrath of Mages, that's a new one. Shivan Fire is cool. Oh, man. 1 Sulphur Falls, there it is. For so long, I tried to get the Sulphur Falls mana. And there it is. Okay, and there's another Banefire. Cool. So this is actually a pretty good help here. Rowdy Crew. Alright, I don't know what other new ones. Walk the Plank is old. I think Eternal Thirst is one of those that we saw there. Isolated Chapel, that's pretty good. Nice check land. Vraska, that's decent. Vraska's Content. Alright. Dragon's Fire, Tactical Assault. Zetalpa, the Beast. Alright, so nothing too spectacular here. Okay, I'm happy with that. Worth. Let's see. Okay, is a spell? No. I wanted to go to the Boros. Well, it's not Boros aggro anymore. Mono red. Okay, let's put in our shiny new Rekindling Phoenix. So 1 more of those. And then 3 Runaway Steamkin, and we're good to go. Awesome. Oh, and the Banefire too. That's 5, 9, 10, 11. I forget what the other 4 were. Well, they're rares or mythics, so. Save and exit. Invalid deck, yep. Okay, I think that's a really good place to call it for today. So that was the inaugural stream. Lots more to come. I'm very excited. Just a bit more about what I'm about. Elevate Your Craft started just as a way to express myself and share what I was doing when it came to progressive calisthenics. Progressive calisthenics is something that I still really, really enjoy and love to do. I've changed over the past 9 years a bit. I work out less, but I work out more strategically. And I'll talk more about that down the line. But that's how it all started. Just really wanting to share what I know and my passion for progressive calisthenics. But really at the core of it, it's a lot more than that. And it has to do even with why I chose that name, Elevate Your Craft. Because I want it to be about more than that. And Elevate Your Craft in its essence is, I mean, at the start I've understood, and I believe I should say, that by exercising our minds and bodies, it really elevates anything that we do. You know, so if you don't tend to be active, but you know, and you have a sort of a sedentary lifestyle or a sedentary job that involves your brain heavily, you know, being active will help that. Really, no matter what you do, exercise will help that, as something I believe, and you just feel better. The clarity in your mind is better, and that's kind of where Elevate Your Craft came from. And the actual words are sort of a bit different. It's actually partly from, I'm a big Rush fan, the band Rush, and their song off Counterparts, Animate. Elevate Me is one of the, or part of the lyrics that Neil Peart wrote. And the other part, I guess, came from, oh, what is it? Jiro Dreams of Sushi, I think it's, yeah, Jiro Dreams of Sushi. Oh my, I cannot type. Yeah, so Jiro Dreams of Sushi is a documentary about a guy who is a master sushi maker. I'm not quite sure if he's still around. He's a very old man, but he was teaching his son the craft and art of sushi making. And the last part of a quote from him is, always strive to elevate your craft. And that really struck a chord with me. And I remember watching it and I wrote that quote down. And then the Rush song, Animate, at the time I was just listening to so much of their music, and I heard that line, Elevate Me, is part of kind of the last part of the chorus. And I'm just like, okay, I've got to do something with Elevate Your Craft and elevate and, you know, that kind of thing. So those were the inspirations, and that's where Elevate Your Craft started. And it really was just me trying to share my passion for progressive calisthenics and just well-being. And then it sort of evolved. It's probably three years now since I started it, and it's evolving. It's always evolving. You know, I use a lot more. I mean, I've always used my mind, but intentionally I've used it a lot more in my efforts, in my recreation, in things I do. And magic is part of that. Writing's a part of that. This is a part of that. And I want Elevate Your Craft to evolve even more. So that's sort of the story behind it, and I'm looking to share that with this stream. Reading is another passion of mine. I read a lot. I have a stack of books behind me that I do have to get to. I usually read about 3 to 4 books at a time, and that's something I do want to share also. And I'm still definitely working out and being active and all those kinds of things, and magic is one way to exercise my mind, and I think a really good way. It's a difficult game. There's a lot of skill involved. It involves a lot of thought. And, you know, that's also what I want to express when it comes to my personality and that kind of thing. So a lot more to come. The stream will evolve. Again, this is my inaugural one, so I hope it was entertaining. And we got some good Magic games in there too. Ended up closing off with some really good cards and that kind of thing. But you can follow the page. Of course, the stream on Twitch, Kasmanasty is the handle, Kasmanasty, and that stems from a very old, one of my closest friends gave me that nickname way back when. Elevate Your Craft is on Facebook. Elevate Your Craft, all one word. Same handle on YouTube. I'm on Instagram at EYC KAS or EYC Kaz, and also on Twitter at EYC Kaz. But that's it. That's all I got for now. Looking forward to the next stream and seeing you guys again soon. But until then, take it easy.